My name is Craig Ostler. I'm a professor of church history and doctrine. I do want the students to be responsible for their own learning. And I want them to have some of the excitement that comes with being able to explain or give answers to questions. I enjoy teaching. I've done it for over 30 years, and I love that opportunity. There's never a better time than when someone's asking me a question, and it sharpens my intellect to be able to answer. What's the best way to approach this? Well, I like to give that to the students and have them also have that opportunity. I remember 3 young ladies in particular one time sitting there in my office, and one would bring up, "I just don't think this question was very clear." And immediately the other 2 would chime in. "Oh no, that was clear as can be. You see, you just didn't understand that." And they would teach one another. I didn't have any questions that where one of them had a concern on the exam that the other 2 didn't help that student understand why that was. We discussed it in class and it was written right here. And I thought, that's, I think, what led to me doing it in the classroom itself, is I thought, this is successful. I'm letting them explain to one another how the question is written and understood, so the other student could see, oh, maybe this is my problem, not the problem that the test question wasn't clear, because everyone else is understanding it. When I determined I was going to have several short essay questions on an exam, I determined we'll correct those in class. So we corrected the exam, and I gave them, using a PowerPoint, what the answers should be or similar to that, and then it was up to them to look at it to correct it. And we had 2/3 of the test was objective, where the answer was either A, B, C, D, and they had to correct that too. When they had concerns about their answer not being the correct one, most often they want to interrupt that time and ask the question. So I asked them, just wait until we're all done correcting and even scoring the exam. And I said, before you can raise any questions in class, you are to ask at least 2 other class members to help you to understand why the answer I had given was the correct answer. And so immediately everybody's looking around the class, getting 2 other people who they, I think, anticipate are going to agree with them that this was a tricky question or this was not quite clear. And I've tried to be careful to see that won't happen, and it didn't. Because very seldom do I have 3 students near one another who all even miss the same question. Everyone is visiting with one another about the items that they missed or had concerns about, and they were receiving the answers from other students, which, one, helped them see what the answer was, but it also made it so they understood that they could have known that answer themselves. And it led to discussion afterwards. And of course, if there was any item on that exam where even 2 of them or 3 had missed it and wasn't sure, then we addressed that afterwards in class, which then also alerted me if there were any items that weren't clear. If they have a concern, some students will not bring it up in class. They may even feel hesitant to ask me privately in my office. We have a lot of different personalities. But when they hear everyone else that's asking questions and just visiting, I think the comfort level is higher for them to be able to visit with one another. I see that there's also benefits afterwards, because as they come to see that they have concerns maybe about the same question, they feel more comfortable asking questions in class, commenting with one another, not feeling that they're going to be judged by what they ask. And so I think there's benefits that go way beyond just that immediate moment. There's certain information students don't know that I must give to them. And I know that if I went, for example, to Bethlehem, they'd never been there before. I had to teach them about Bethlehem. But what they could do is share for 2 or 3 minutes their insights from 10 verses that they had studied. I can always add to that. The passage that stands out is where the Lord promises, He says, "Teach ye diligently, and my grace shall attend you." Well, that has to do with the teacher, not the learner, unless the learner is the teacher. And so if you give opportunity to the student to also be part of the learning, the grace of the Lord attends them as they teach diligently. To me, that's collaborative learning from the perspective that we've been given in the Revelations. But it's more exciting teaching and less performance. And what I found, I hope this is all right because it's my own personal experience, maybe others haven't had that if I'm teaching several sections of the same course and all I'm doing is presenting, I'm an actor on a stage and I have to take cues even for emotions. And it's fake. That's why I don't like it. And I would rather have where it's alive. I still have in my mind outlines. I know what I need to accomplish to teach, but I'm real. And that may just be my personal challenge, but I don't like to get into the other mode because then I become more of a role player, acting, drama, whatever you want to call it, and instead of interacting as a human being with my students.